Namaste, viewers. What a great day. After 4 years, I, Bharat Somal, is going to start posting videos on my YouTube channel. So I would like to let you know the purpose of these videos, and I think every week at least you are going to see at least 2 such videos. I have planned to show to the world how the creation is explained in the Vedas, Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, or Atharved. During this course of journey, I'm going to take you through some of the Vedic mantras which explain how this whole universe has been created by omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, what you call as God, which means generator, operator, and destroyer of this creation. Even before we go into the creation, I would like to give you some background about Vedas. So in the current world, there are 2 types of Sanskrit. One is the Laukic Sanskrit, which almost everyone knows, like the people who are studying in the Sanskrit colleges, schools, universities, they are aware of the Laukic Sanskrit. Western scholars, they are aware of the Laukic Sanskrit. Indian scholars, aware of Laukic Sanskrit. But there is something called Yogic Sanskrit. Worldwide, if you ask me, how many people might be knowing it? I can easily say not more than 3,000 or 4,000 people who are aware of Yogic Sanskrit. And most of these scholars are not in very good condition. They are basically living in very destitute conditions. They are living in poverty. They are running some of the leftover gurukuls in India because we are not supported the way like other religious institutions are supported by the government of India. With that thought, I was thinking how to bring this Yogic Sanskrit among the masses. During this journey, I'm going to explain what Yogic Sanskrit is. For example, Laukic Sanskrit, right? If I say Indra in Laukic Sanskrit is name of a person who is living in heaven. Similarly, Vishnu means it's a name of a person who is basically living in some place, sitting on a big snake and all that stuff, right? Similarly, Soma. What is Soma? Soma, in today's Sanskrit meaning, if you see, it means liquor. So most of my friends, when they are drinking, they say, come on, we have like our gods, they used to drink. You know what is Soma? I say, yeah, I know Soma is not a liquor. So similarly, Brihaspati. People think Brihaspati is some kind of a god or a devta or something like that. We are going to see what is the meaning of Brihaspati, right? So in Laukic Sanskrit, everything becomes a proper noun. On my YouTube channel, I think I have given somewhere around 10 to 12 presentations, if you see my channel, True Hinduism, that is black and white. And you can go through those videos to understand the difference between Laukic and Yogic Sanskrit. For this session, I am going to start with the creation of this universe. I wrote one book around 10 years back. The name is The Cure for God's Epidemic. Just to share with you, I have written more than a dozen books. Some of the books I have written. Some of the books, when I was studying all different scriptures of different religion, history and all that, I came across some of the books which I thought might be valuable to the people of my nation. And I have forwarded those books because those books are not available right now. But almost all of my books, they are available, pay as you go, right? You can buy for $0, you can donate whatever you want. The reason for $0 is, this is not my knowledge. I gained from someone, I took from someone, I have put it in my words. It doesn't mean that I am the originator, inventor, or discoverer of those knowledge, right? So to be honest to myself, I have just given those books free to people. You are free to put your name and publish those books by your name, propagate the knowledge as much as possible. Okay, now coming back to the proper noun and the yogic terminology. Indra is an electrical force in the Vedas. Indra doesn't mean it's a proper noun. Similarly, Agni. Agni is the divine power, okay, which creates elementary particles. So if you might be aware of some quantum physics, quantum science, right? So Agni is referred to cosmic or space energy. Vishnu. Now Vishnu is the power which gives, I can say, a galactic movement to the sun. So suppose I consider this small ball, right? If I consider it as a sun, the galactic movement is given by this power. Soma. Soma is nothing but it is a gravitational force. It's not the liquor which we used to think. It's a gravitational force. Brihaspati is a nuclear force. Ashwin. Now, Ashwins, many people think Ashwin, oh, they are something in the sky, right? No, Ashwin is referred to as centripetal and centrifugal force. Or you can say at a submolecular level or an atomic level, you can say it's a balancing force. With that said, I think I might have given you a high-level overview of how things are in Vedas, right? It's very interesting to know that the Vedas are the only book which abides by some logic and reasoning. It's not like other scriptures where all killing, eating meat, destroying things are written, right? So Vedas generally deal with science, philosophy, and in short, I would like to tell you how the Vedic mantras are interpreted. There are only three ways, basically, at a higher level, the Vedic mantras can be interpreted. The first one is it can have a spiritual meaning. The second one is it can have a kind of a universal meaning. Or third one is it is dealing with the planet and the science related to the planet, like something related to a species, how you should rule, what you should do if you meet with bad people, which are referred to as dasyus in Vedas. Similarly, there can be an interrelation, right? It can be like interrelation between human beings and the supreme consciousness. The meaning can be, or it can be the relation between supreme consciousness and the matter on this planet, or it can be the mixture of all the three. So apart from this, if someone is interpreting Vedic mantras, close your eyes and you can say this is wrong. Okay? I was listening to one of the videos where one of the great saint was mentioning like Indra is enjoying with the Apsaras and all that. The problem that we are running in current world is our gurus, our acharyas, teachers, priests, especially on the Hinduism side, they are not aware of science. They don't have that vision to look deeper into the Vedic mantras. Basically, there's a big science which is going on inside that mantra, and I'm going to take a separate session for that. So, let's start. In my book, The Cure for God's Epidemic, I started with the creation when nothing was there. Nothing means nothing. It means no sun, no universe, nothing like matter used to exist. But I found that it is difficult to comprehend if I start from that side. So I decided now to start from the other side, which means we are going to start how these planets got created, Earth got created, Moon got created, Sun got created, our solar system got created, and then how the universe got created. So it will be a little bit interesting. I will try to make sure that I am as simple as possible in this journey. If you have any question, please go ahead, comment, send me an email as time permit. I am definitely going to reply. So I don't have a lot of time. I'm pretty busy. Definitely, I will try to respond because this is one area of interest for me. And I think if we do this, we all are going to benefit. So let's start. The first Vedic mantra. It is Rig Veda 1.164.1. What it says, Asya vamasya palitasya hotu tasya bhrata madhyamo astisnaha trityo bhrata gratprashto asya atra pashyam vishvapatim saptaputram. Now, this mantra can be spoken in different ways. There are ways of pronouncing it. If you go to a very hardcore Sanskrit Vedic scholar, he will pronounce it in a particular perfect way. So when you study Sanskrit, don't worry about the pronunciation or how you are reciting the mantra. It really does not matter. If you have to learn, just open it, start reading it, and try to comprehend the meaning. Now, let's see what is asya. Now, asya means in this particular mantra, something which is in front of me. Okay, something is in front. The way this mantra meaning has been done by some of the scholars is like, oh, the beloved invoker, grown gray of him, there is the middle brother, all pervading, and there is a third brother who bears ghee on his back. In them I saw the Lord of the people with 7 sons. Now, if I if I simply write this meaning, it really doesn't make sense, right? And in order to give you a clear explanation of what is going on this mantra, I might have to write at least 20-30 pages or create a video of an hour or 2 hours by giving you exact rules, basically what is this going in this mantra. But here, let's try to simplify this. So, asya is something in the front. Vamasya is something lovable, okay? Now, palitasya. So, let's think what palitasya is here. It means old, ancient, or it comes from a root, right? The root is pal, to protect. So, protect or to fill, right? Then hotu tasya, right? Hotu means it's kind of an invoker, okay? Someone is invoking something here. So it's some kind of a yajna which is going. Even before you go into this mantra, there is a rishi associated to the mantra. The rishi is dirghatama. Dirg means large, okay? Large. Tama means it's a heaviness. So just by seeing the rishi, you get a code. Basically, there is something large. Heaviness in scientific terms, it is inertia. Okay, so what is happening here is there is some heaviness, there is an inertia, something is in the front, okay, something is lovable, which means there is some kind of a connection, okay. Then there is a hotu, which means there is some kind of a yajna going on. There is an invoker. Yes, there is an invoker in this mantra, okay. Now, tasya bhrata madhyamo astah snaha. Tasya means of him. Bhrata means brother. Now here it does not mean this is actually a brother or my brother or your brother, right? Here it means to support. Okay, there is some kind of a support. Tasya bhrata madhyamo. Madhyamo is very important in this mantra. Madhyam means if I take this ball, right? And if I take another ball, so looks like there is something in the center, right? Then only I can say madhyamo. You should have 3 objects, right? To say something in the center or the madhyamo. Okay? So, asti. Now, asti is basically, it's a principle it's a finite verb in this principle sentence, okay? It means is, asti, asnaha. Now, asnaha can be, in this mantra, it can be, we can say to pervade, to eat, or consume. Okay. So these are the couple of meaning of the word snaha. Trityo bhrata. Now here what it is saying? Trityo bhrataha. Third. Trityo. Bhrata. Brother. Okay. And then come ghrata prashto. So this grit is very important. So grit here means just like a ghee, right? Like a clarified butter, which you put in the oven. What happens? It has a property of flowing and producing radiance. So here the grita prashto. So grit is referred to as, there is some kind of a energy, right? Like what happens when you shoot from the gun, right? The latent energy of the gunpowder is converted into the kinetic energy when it hits very fast, right? So there is some kind of a latent energy. Grita prashto here is a kind of a latent energy. Okay, so this is very important in this mantra. Atra pashyam. So atra, in them. Now in them means there are more objects which are here, right? Vishvapatim. Vishvapatim. Asya means, atra means in them. Asya means of him. Vishvapatim means something who is like the controller. He's over, like overlordship, right? So in this case is referred to son. Saptaputram. Now it is saying there are seven sons, right? Having seven sons. Now, very interesting. So if you see, something is going on in this mantra. What mantra is revealing here is how the planets came out. Okay, so there are seven planets which came out of sun in this mantra, because sun is at the center, right? There is a planet. Okay, so consider it like this. This is sun, this is a planet, Ghrith. Ghrith is the latent energy in between, which we know there's a gravitational energy between the planets and the sun, which is force equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. So what this mantra is saying, that these are like brother. This is like a brother, the sun. Okay, it's a Vishvapatim. Okay, it has a overlordship, and out of this sun there are seven planets which got created. Okay, so this is for scientists, so to find out how the planets got created, right? There are different theories of creation, but one must try to understand, even if Earth is like 10 feet away from its axis where it is right now rotating, right? We will not exist. So everything is very well planned. Now these seven planets came out. People will think, oh no, there are 8th, 9th or 10th planet. Yes, there are, and the Vedic mantras tell when the 8th, 9th and 10th planet came out, when sun went around the core of the galaxy in its own orbit. Okay, we will see it later. So what we have seen, that there are seven planets which came out of the sun initially. Remember, the same mantra can also be translated as seven rays of the sun. But because there is Madhyama, there are seven suns, right? And the next mantra in the same sequence is going to give us the confirmation that here we are not talking about the seven rays of the sun. So let's see the next mantra. You all will be amazed with the meaning of the next mantra. So what is the next mantra? Sapta yunjanti ratham ek chakram eko ashvo vahati saptanama trinabhi chakram ajaram anarvam yatre mavishva bhuvnaditasht. Right? Now what the meaning scholars have interpreted is the seven yoke, the one who wheeled chariot, seven yoke wheeled chariot, one horse having seven names. Draw it. The wheel, so the wheel has three navels, never gets old. Okay, it never overcome, in which have been remaining all these beings. Now this meaning doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So consider, how can you have a wheel, right? Like sapta, seven, then yunjanti, right? Yunjanti, so yoke, right? Then ratham is a chariot. Then I think eka chakram, now one wheeled. So how can you have a chariot, right, with one wheel? It's not possible. It means there is something going on in this mantra. Ashvaha, horse. So here it is not Lokik Sanskrit, it's a yogic Sanskrit, right? So here we are talking about Ashvaha, which means horse, but here it is the power, right? You know horsepower, it came from Vedas, right? Horse, that's a horsepower. So there is some kind of a power which is mentioned here. Vahati means draws, okay? So if you see, this is, I think it's a verb in a principal clause, right? It's a Vahati, Saptanama, having seven names, okay? Now what are those seven names? Okay, so seven names, I will tell you what are those seven names. Trinabhi Chakram. This Trinabhi Chakram actually opens up the meaning of both the mantras and confirm that we are talking about planets. Now, it is very important to understand Trinabhi Chakram. Can a wheel have Trinabhi Chakram? Means three navels? No. In math, there is only one. there is one object in math, right? What is that? Ellipse. So if you see ellipse, right? Ellipse has two foci and one center. It is Trinabhi Chakram. Then you have, what is that? After Chakram is Ajaram, which means it's not aging, it doesn't decay, okay? Then you have Anarvam. So Anarvam is mentioned here, not overcome. Then you have Yatrema. Yatrema means in which. Then Vishva. Vishva we all know. Bhuvanadi. Vishva means all. Bhuvanadi means we are talking about the beings, okay? There is another form of Bhuvanadi, to be or to become. Then Tashtu, okay? Have been standing. So, as I explained, no one can expect one-wheel chariot, right? Nothing can have three navels. Ash here means to pervade. It is not horse, okay? There is some kind of a energy, which is basically nothing but a gravitational force of sun, which is pervading all the planets. So here in this mantra, what is explained, Tribhinabhi Chakram is the elliptical orbits, where in the first mantra, the seven planets came out and they started orbiting in the elliptical orbit around the sun. Okay, so these wheels, what are the wheels with three navel? Okay, it is the elliptical orbit with two foci and one center, which you can see in the mantra. With that, we completed the Kepler's law. So I request all of you to go on the internet and try to find out what is Kepler's law. Vedas already had this Kepler law. Suddenly, some Westerners came across the Vedas and they were able to find what is written there. They were able to understand the meaning, and suddenly the explosion of inventions, innovations, discovery occurred. Okay. With that said, friends, thank you. We have seen how the seven planets came out of sun and how the elliptical orbits got created. There is a gravitational force, which is nothing but great. The seven planets are rotating across the sun. Okay, this is called Kepler's law. In the next video, we are going to start with the creation of moon. With that, namaste to all of you. Thank you.